This is the Real Pod Newscast with Levon Putney with a quick check on what's going on. So here's my man to get into it.
Thank you for checking out the cast into another week here. Monday was Cinco de Mayo, and first Monday in May meant the Met Gala. Brought out the stars in fashion. Lady Gaga been on plenty of Met Gala red carpets, but just drew 2.5 million people to a free concert this past Saturday night on Brazil's Copacabana Beach. Largest ever crowd for a female artist. Then a couple of guys were arrested for trying to plot a bomb attack on the concert. Didn't work. And did he do it? It's what jurors are getting picked now to decide in Sean Diddy Combs' federal trial in Manhattan. More on that later. For now, though.
My favorite stories of the day.
In Arcadia, Florida, a woman was caught on a doorbell camera stealing an adult tricycle from a home, regular-sized bike with 3 wheels, and DeSoto County sheriffs also say she was caught on that doorbell camera wearing a tiger print onesie. Yeah, that was what WWSB-TV ABC7 in Florida is reporting. Investigators had to go on until posting the video images to social media, and leads came in to help them identify the adult tricycle tiger print onesie-wearing woman. They know her name, and they say they know her voicemail is full. Folks at her old address say she's not welcome back there, and the tricycle still missing. So the DeSoto County sheriffs wrote in their social media post, if you spot someone riding off in a tiger onesie on a tricycle, please give them a call. A 44-year-old woman in Prospect Park, Pennsylvania, Delaware County, or Delco, right outside of Philly, is accused of handling a car cutting her off in traffic last Tuesday in such a way that it led me to look up bowel incontinence. Which Cleveland Clinic researchers, by the way, say is pretty common. 1 out of 3 people will have trouble holding bowels in at some point. But this woman stopped street traffic with her car, got out and walked up to the hood of the car the driver she was beefing with. Oh, you know what I'm getting at. Pulled down her shorts or underwear, really couldn't tell. And within a few seconds, left a puddle of wet boo-boo on that Hyundai's front hood and grill. Then pulled up her shorts or underwear, walked quickly back to her car and drove off. Now, I can be that descriptive. Yeah, because someone shot video of the whole thing from their car, posted it on Instagram. NBC 10 in Philadelphia is reporting Prospect Park cops saw this video too and say they used it to track down the 44-year-old woman, arrested her on Thursday, now facing several charges. By the way, the video showed the woman did not wipe herself. A 50-year-old ex-convict won the Powerball jackpot the Saturday night before last. AP is reporting his mom called him that next day to say they won $167.3 million. And last Monday, they were both posing with that oversized check with lottery officials, along with the 50-year-old's 42-year-old girlfriend. Yeah, he and his mom were splitting the winnings, told lottery officials this coming Sunday is going to be a good Mother's Day, and told WKYT-TV that this would help his mom because he's caused a lot of stress on her by making bad decisions. That was Monday. And by Tuesday, he and his girlfriend had checked into a hotel resort in St. Pete Beach, west of St. Petersburg, Florida. And by Tuesday evening, police say they were called to break up a fight at the resort, and an officer's body camera video showed not only the guy and his girlfriend in the middle of it all, but at the 50-year-old lotto-winning ex-con kicked the cop in the face while the officer was trying to break it up. The Smoking Gun News site got the police report and mugshots. She was smiling, he was not. And the report says the girlfriend seemed drunk while screaming incoherent things at the ones they're accused of fighting at the resort. And cops say her last name, by the way, is Fight Master. She was hit with a misdemeanor disorderly intoxication charge, but because her boyfriend is an ex-con, his felony and misdemeanor charges led to a Kentucky parole violation warrant and still locked up. Still stressing out his mom, but still rich, thanks to that Powerball jackpot. Before the break, promo for the Jams podcast. Jams with a Z.
Blazing the best hip-hop, R&B, reggae, soca.
You can download the Jams podcast mix for free. Just Google search Jams podcast mix.
It's Jams Hour Mix with Greg H.
Now, bubble guts. We have clumpy soy milk, almond milk, oat milk, and coconut milk. And they all come from fine plants and trees, but not one of them comes from nature as nature intended. So trust nature the way nature wanted us to, and drink milk from cows, not mom. That would be gross. Cow's milk. It still does the body good.
Paid for by a made-up narrator.
And now for the world around us.
In Canada's Saskatchewan province, police in Saskatoon say a drunk guy stumbled out in the road with a liquor bottle in hand early in the Sunday morning before last, right in front of officers patrolling the area. And that's how a police car was stolen. Yeah, just cutting to the chase. But yes, CBC News is reporting officers got out of their patrol car to deal with this drunk guy walking in the street with a liquor bottle, but it took off running the way a drunk guy would, until they caught him after a minute stumbling around the corner. And when they walked back to the car with the drunk guy, the patrol car was gone. Which reminds me, video game maker Rockstar just announced Grand Theft Auto 6 is not coming out till next year. It's been pushed back again. But yes, somebody pulled a GTA-style move and stole the Saskatoon police car. Took it for a joyride. They say they found it 15 minutes later in a back alley a couple blocks away. So they took the drunk guy in once they got their car back. Now, cops are out there looking for a patrol car thief. 115-year-old Ethel Caterham of Britain got a call last week to let her know that 116-year-old Brazilian nun Ina Canavaro Lucas died. The two were not friends as far as anyone knows, but the nun's passing meant Caterham is now the world's oldest living person. And the folks at Guinness World Records say this makes her the oldest person ever recorded from the United Kingdom. King Charles III sent a letter to Caterham at the nursing home that she's in Surrey to mark the magical milestone. The record keepers at Guinness say she's the youngest in 12 years, though, to be named oldest living person. Now, since magicians never want to give up their secrets to how a person can be sawed in half in a box or a bunny can pop out of a hat, it serves them right to get fooled by a fellow magician, Sophie Lloyd, who tricked the British private club of magicians called the Magic Circle into letting her join, even though it was an all-male club until this went down back in 1991. Lloyd faked being a man and was kicked out of the club when they found out. But now, almost 34 years later, the Magic Circle apologized, tracked her down in Spain, and reinstated Lloyd's membership. She tells Sky News it feels like the society made good on something that was wrong. Back in a moment.
Have you been arrested for throwing a freak-off party?
Or for being video recorded relieving yourself on a teen girl in bed?
Or for using baby oil to a suspicious degree? The law firm of McCracken and Butts is the team for you.
We fight hard for our clients. No questions asked.
We don't want to know the answers. We only want our clients to know we have their backs. And a towel to wipe the baby oil off of their backs.
Our crisis management.
What's up with what's going down, though?
Baby oil may forever now be tied to Diddy's name, but having over 1,000 bottles of baby oil when federal agents searched his mansions last year is a gold mine for comedians, and we've been laughing. However, baby oil possession is not a charge, not a crime. Sex trafficking and racketeering charges are. So, since jury selection started Monday in Manhattan Federal Court for the music producer, rapper, and exec Sean Diddy Combs' trial, a quick breakdown of the charges against the 55-year-old in this case. Now, several women have also filed civil charges against him, but prosecutors here filed criminal sex trafficking because they argue that Diddy used his power and influence for over 2 decades to force women to do drugs and hook up with male sex workers at his so-called freak-off parties. They also say he recorded videos of the women having sex during these parties. So the racketeering charge comes from accusations that he was sex trafficking, kidnapping, forcing labor through bribery, obstruction of justice, and arson, since prosecutors claim Diddy had rapper and actor Kid Cudi's car blown up. Once the jury is selected, the trial is expected to last at least 2 months or longer. And some celebrities are set to testify, including singer Cassie, who settled a civil lawsuit against Diddy a year and a half ago. She was also in leaked hotel surveillance video being dragged, kicked, and hit by someone looking a lot like Combs. Yeah, he's been held in Brooklyn's federal lockup since arrested last September. Trial will be in Manhattan.
May feel like this grocery shopper right now.
Everybody gonna be skinny, walking around here looking crazy because we can't get no eggs. You know what else I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen without the eggs? You ain't gonna have no cakes. Chocolate cakes is over it.
Not if you head to J-Dub's Pigeon Coop. $5 a dozen for eggs laid minutes before, fresh out the mother pigeon. It can't get more organic than that. So swing on by to J-Dub's Rooftop Market at the corner of Clinton Avenue and South 17th in Newark.
What's up to everyone tuning in on this beautiful day? This is Mike Mann, bringing all the fire, like this oldie from the Bishop Supreme himself. Slammy Sammy, do your thing.
Stoop down, baby, let me jack you up.
Hit it and split it.
Every night I go to bed, I have one of those dreams. I try to fantasize, but it's always you, it seems. Maybe big and fat, but I like it like that. I like those big hips, come kiss me on my left. Baby, when I'm next to you, you feel like jelly. All I wanna do is pass out on your belly. I love you cause you...
And that about does it for another Real Pod newscast. Thank you so much for listening. And a reminder, or new info to some, I've started posting song credits on the show's Facebook page, for the ones running between stories during the cast, in case anyone needs to check that out to get the song's connection to the following story. Have a great rest of the week, everybody. Back on Friday.
This has been the Real Pod Newscast with Levon Putney from Show Enough Productions. And for more, hit up the website, realpodnewscast.com. That's real with 2 E's. This is Big Daddy Marty Allen. Thanks for listening.
Show Enough.